This video is a call to action because here in America there's a bill that's being presented called the Stop Online Piracy Act. And this bill is in place to try to attempt to censor the internet and attempt to change the internet as you and I know it. And I want to explain the bill to you now, and hopefully you'll want to do something about it. If you don't want to watch the video, you get frustrated at any point during the video, check the comments below. There's a description of the bill, there's a link to the actual wording of the bill, and there's links to things that you can do to help. Now, that said, let's talk about the bill in the way it's intended to be used. Let's imagine there's a website out there called the Pirate Bay. There is. And it's a bastion for pirates who like to violate copyright protection. And that's what that website's for. So, let's imagine Nintendo and Sony and Walmart. These are corporations that actually do back this exact bill. Let's imagine Nintendo's tired of having their copyright infringed. So what they decide to do is that they go to a court here in America and have a judge rule that the Pirate Bay is a repeated copyright offender, and now they're going to remove the Pirate Bay entirely from the internet. If an American attempts to search for or look for the Pirate Bay, it'll be as if it did not exist. There will be a message saying that they are wanted in the courts and da-da-da-da-da, and that you're not allowed to view this website here in America. Um, so, sucks, right? Now, there are very few legitimate uses for the Pirate Bay, so it's difficult to defend that. I get that. But let's talk about other websites that sometimes infringe copyright. Facebook, Tumblr, DeviantArt, Reddit, YouTube, all these sites that have user-generated content. When a user is allowed to upload a picture or upload a video or link to something, they have the opportunity to violate copyright. And it's impossible, though I believe YouTube and Facebook and some of these websites do their due diligence, it's impossible for them to completely police what gets uploaded and what gets put on their website. So eventually, given enough time, YouTube is going to violate copyright, or Facebook is going to violate copyright, because their users are going to violate copyright using their website. So they're faced with the opportunity of dramatically changing their business model, or running the risk of some website suing them, some copyright holder suing them, and having them blocked. And it doesn't have to be Nintendo, it doesn't have to be Walmart, it doesn't have to be Sony. It could be literally almost anybody that has the money and can find a judge to convince them long enough to do it. So one day you log into Facebook and Facebook's gone because some backwoods judge in whatever state you hate happens to believe that Facebook allows too much uploading of copyright material, and it's a bastion for pirates, and now it has to go too. But worse, come to worse, let's imagine tomorrow I decide I want to create my own Facebook website, and I want it to be exactly like Facebook. Of course, I'm not going to have all the time and the money and the resources to police as well as, say, Facebook does. So eventually, copyrighted material is going to be uploaded on my website. Let's say Facebook doesn't like that. So Facebook decides they don't want to deal with the competition. They sue me. They have my website eradicated from the internet. Now, I'm not much for a slippery slope argument, but this bill would allow all of these things to happen as it's worded. And I understand that the idea of the open seas of the internet and open seas of piracy are the days are numbered. I get that. And they tried 4 or 5 different angles over the past couple of years. This one cannot stand. I cannot and will not sit by and watch them censor our free speech, censor our way of using the internet, censor our way of dealing with the market, dealing with startup companies, dealing with the internet itself. I will not see them stamp out user-generated material for the sake of 10% more profits for Walmart, Sony, Nintendo, and a handful of other companies. And I hope that you feel the same way. So if you do, here's what you can do. You can follow the links below. You'll find links to, if you're here in America, you'll find the links to your representatives. You'll also find a link to the email addresses of the 15 people who are sponsoring this bill. It's a bipartisan bill. If you're wondering whether or not American can be bipartisan, they sure can when it comes to destroying your free speech, but that's fine. Down below, write these people, call these people, make a handwritten letter and send it to them. These things make an impact. Call them, tell them you don't like the bill, tell them why you don't like the bill, explain it them in great detail, and I trust me, this has worked before. Hopefully, it'll work again. Now, I know a lot of you are going to think, yeah, our congressmen are too bought and paid for this to work, that you're not going to change their mind, and that's probably true. But I'd rather die trying. So follow the links below. Let's see what we can do.